Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of What's Up Spidey, and today we're going to be talking about Attack on Titan Chapter 85, and oh my god people, oh my god, I cannot believe what just happened in this chapter. It is so freaking amazing. We finally made it to the basement, everybody. We finally made it to the goddamn basement, and I am so excited. I was like, oh god, it's here. We finally made it. We're finally here. You know what guys? I'm very upset because I can't film a video and have my dogs loose at the same time, because look at them. Look at them. This one is Stinky. Hi, Stinky. Hello, Stinky. And the other one, this is Duchess. Hello, Duchess. Hello. And this one, oh god, I hate that I'm filming this on my cell phone. Hannah. Hello. Okay. Now that you guys have met my now that you guys have met my dogs, now we're gonna go back to the review. And if you guys hear them in the background, I am so sorry, but I can't shut them up because they're free. So, oh well. Anyway, so we get there, right? And Armin has woken up and he has this like vision at first. He sees Mikasa. Mikasa's like, Armin, we gotta get out of here. Hurry up, we gotta run. Armin! And then he wakes up. And then he sees Browse in the Titan form, and then he's like, what the hell's happening? And then he wakes up a third time, and then he's actually up. And then he sees Eren and Sasha, because Sasha's on the floor and she's passed out and she's severely injured, and then Eren's like, oh my god, Armin, you're up, I'm gonna go give you a hug, let's hug right now, Armin, yeah! And then Captain Levi shows up, and Captain Levi's like, great, you're up now, we can get the hell out of here. And I'm like, alright, awesome, we're getting the hell out of here, this sounds great. And we get the rundown of information, basically, between Commander Erwin and Armin. They chose Armin at the last minute. And Hanji's pretty upset about this, but honestly, I don't care what Hanji thinks at the moment, because I think that this was the best option that they could pick right now. I'm not upset that they picked Armin, you know? I mean, I said in the last video, like, I wouldn't care who they picked, but I think that Armin is the better choice, because, honestly, how much more would the commander be able to do after they got to the basement? It's upsetting that he never did get to the basement, yes, but what could they do after that storyline, you know what I mean? Anyway, so they're basically telling him, like, hey, from now on, it is your job to take on the legacy of the commander, and you have to really do that role. My dogs are playing, this is how they play. Stinky. Anyway, so yes, Armin then feels very upset about this whole situation, because he feels like, now I have to take on this role of the commander, and this is a very big role for me, and I don't know if I can do this, and oh my god. And then Hanji comes over, and Hanji's like, I really didn't want you to be alive at this moment, I want the commander to be alive, and now I have to basically become the next commander from chapters way before, when the commander was telling her, when he thought he was going to be assassinated, that she was going to take on the role anyway. Like, he already had this planned out, that he was going to die soon. So it's not like something that's out of the blue that he was going to die. That's part of the reason also why I'm okay. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second here. Would you guys like to talk about Attack on Titan? Okay. Anyway, we're back. So, yes, as I was saying to you guys, she basically knew that she was going to take on this role from the get-go, so it's not like she's like, this is a new thing for her. That's why I'm kind of annoyed that she told Armin all that, like, oh, I didn't want it to be you, I wanted it to be him. Okay, but you were going to be the next commander. Like, there was nothing that was going to happen that was going to change that factor. So, anyway, Hanji, Levi, and Mikasa and Eren are gonna go off to the basement, and as they're going off to the basement, Levi basically says, you know what, at the end of the day, yes, the kids got involved, yes, you know, they went against the Survey Corps, but it was my decision, and I chose to bring back Armin, so if anybody's gonna be mad at anybody, they're gonna be mad at me. And also, at the other end of the day, the commander put me in charge of this potion, so it was my decision and my decision alone at the end, and nobody forced me or changed my ideas as to who I picked. I picked him because I wanted to pick him, and that's it. So nobody could really tell Levi anything at that point because, hello, he's Captain Levi. Anyway, they get to the basement area. They see their house destroyed with a rock on it, and we get an image of Mikasa and Eren as little kids, and then again as adults, which I think the artwork for this chapter was really good, so I really enjoyed that. And then we get them going into the basement, and then the key doesn't open the basement door, which was very climactic, but I had a feeling that that was going to happen because it's just a basement, you know, made out of wood. So they're like, what do we do now? Oh no, we can't open the door. And then Levi's like, I'm just gonna kick this door open, bitch. Boom. And I'm like, alright, that's awesome. That's my Captain Levi. That's why I love Levi so much, is because he's a badass. He just does not give a fuck. Like, I can respect anybody who just does not give a fuck. So, anyway, door's broken open, they go inside, they're like, this looks like just a regular doctor's lab, whatever, there's nothing special about being in here. And then they're like, hey, you guys really need to look around, and he tells... My dogs are getting out of hand there, so to put one of them away. Anyway. So... Come here, Stinky. Anyway, as I was saying to you guys, so they basically tell Eren and Mikasa, hey, stop sitting around. You guys need to look around too. And Mikasa finds a little hole inside of a desk, and she's like, hey, there's a keyhole here. Eren, try the key. And they open it up, and they find 3 little preserved books in there. And then the books are basically going back to that same repeated story of Captain Erwin in the classroom asking the question of, how can we be the only human beings on Earth left? How is that possible that there's nobody left outside? And then we go back to the fact that Eren's dad left this here for Eren to find. There's information for Eren to know. Why are we the only ones left here on the earth? How can it be that there's nobody living outside the wall? And he's like, you know, why did the book say that there's nobody living outside the wall? Why didn't it say it's most likely that there's nobody living outside the wall? He's like, I feel like this is a conspiracy. I feel like this is made to hide the truth from us, and there really is people living outside the wall at this point. And I'm like, damn, you know what? That is very true, because when you look at our textbooks now, it's like, it is more than likely that that makes more sense, you know, in the writing. So reading that was like, oh wow, he really paid attention to the detail in that story to know that factor, right? So then we get a photo, right? And the photo is not painted, it's a photograph. And everybody's looking at this picture, and I think in the picture it's Eren's dad with Eren's grandparents, because Eren's dad is probably a little boy in the picture. And he writes in his handwriting, this is not a painting, it is a photograph taken from the outside world where other people live, because yes, there are people living on the outside world. And when I read that, I like freaked out, because I was like, this shit just got so real right now. Like, I think that this was what I was waiting for in the storyline to happen, because honestly I was getting to the point where it was like, what was going to be in the basement that was going to change everything, you know, what was going to happen now. But now that they've reached the basement, it's like the point of no return. You also have to think in the anime, the whole point of the anime at this point now, because they just announced that we're getting the 2nd season next year, but in the whole 1st season of the anime, that whole perspective was getting to the basement and finding out what was in the basement. And now we find out in the basement what was there was the truth. And the truth is that the commander was right all along, and that there was people living outside the wall, and that now we just need to find out how to get to them and where they are and what's going on. And to me, I feel like what's happening now is that Ape Titan had to be like family members with Eren, and everybody is a Titan. And like there's just some type of epidemic that happened, maybe like some type of mutation that happened to everybody that made them go into turn to crazy Titans. Because then we also remember Connie's mom was a Titan, like hinted, and that's why Browse and Reiner didn't want Connie to go and investigate it more, because they were like, no, we don't want you guys to find out about this, because if you find out about this, there's no way of going back from here at this point, and they were hiding this all along. But now that we have Armin as a Titan and Eren as a Titan, I feel like there's more possibility of them not being stoppable at this point. You know what would be really crazy, though, is if, and mind you, this is just me talking, but imagine if they captured Reiner again and had Mikasa transform, because they were able to find another way to make the serum because of being on the outside parts of the wall and everything. And, you know, Historia was going to be turned into a Titan too to eat Eren, so I'm pretty sure there's a way that they can find that Titan potion again, or make it again. And then Mikasa just ate Reiner and became an armored female Titan. Like, she would beat the shit out of Annie in Titan form, because when she was grabbing Levi on the floor in the last 2 chapters, and she was like, no, motherfucker, we gonna kill you if you don't turn Armin back into a human being right now and turn him into a Titan human, and Armin's gonna live right now. Armin's gonna live right now because I said so, or otherwise I'm gonna slit your throat open. Like, that's the thing I really love about Mikasa. That's why I want to cosplay as her this year at Comic-Con. I gotta build the 3DM gear to do so, but she's just a badass, you know, and just seeing her go through that whole, like, role, I think that she's getting a bit more screen time, and I think that that's pretty awesome, and I want to see more of the 4 of them now, Levi, Armin, Eren, and Mikasa, because there's only 9 people left of the Survey Corps right now, so it's the 4 of them, right, then Hanji, then Connie, then Sasha, and Jean, and the guy that carried Commander Erwin back to them. So I think I'm pretty sure that's all of the 9 that are left over of the Survey Corps. So where else can they go from there? There's really no reason to go back into the walls and be like, hey, we're all dead. What do we do now? Like, the only thing that you could really do now is move forward and try to figure out what's in the outside world. And I think that that's going to be a very exciting storyline to go from next. Because I really want to see if they make it to the ocean. Well, not if, they're going to make it to the ocean, but what's going to be in store for them there? What's the next part of this storyline? Because there's no going back now. Now we finally made it to the basement. Like, we're in the basement. Like, we have the answers, we have a photograph. What's a photograph? How is this possible? Like, humanity existed and people were alive for years and years and years before the wall was created, and we just need to find out what happens next, you know? Like, did we have more technology? Like, did we have iPhones back then in this time period? And then all of a sudden an outbreak happened and everybody